like to call this regular meeting of the City Stuart Commission on July 27th, 2026 at 5:50 PM to order. Mary, if you could roll call.
Mayor Reed,
Here.
Commissioner Clark,
Here.
Commissioner Giobi,
Here.
Commissioner Rich.
Here.
And followed by that, we have invocation by Pastor James Harp from Stuart Alliance Church. And afterwards, could you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? Thank you.
Let's pray. Our Father, we thank you for this day, and I thank you personally for this opportunity to be here this afternoon to pray, to bring invocation, not to ask you to be here, but Lord, more to recognize your presence. The psalmist in Psalm 139, verse 7, rhetorically asks the question, where can I go to escape your presence, to escape your spirit? Where can I flee from your presence? Lord, he knew that you are everywhere. You're here. You're in this room, and we recognize that. And Father, I just ask that you would superintend this meeting. Sitting here waiting, I looked up that word to give the definition. It means to have or exercise the charge and oversight of, to oversee with the power of direction, to take care with authority, to supervise. And Lord, that would be my prayer this evening, that you would supervise and superintend this meeting tonight and all other meetings, Lord, where plans are being made and things are being discussed for our community, for our city. Lord, we thank you for this city. We thank you for these that have been put in authority over the community. Lord, your word tells us that we're to pray for them, that we're to encourage them, that we're to lift them up before you, that you would grant them wisdom and direction and guidance so that our lives would be better because of them. So, Lord, I do that tonight. I pray for them. I pray for their families. I pray for all those who are involved in this city to make things happen and to take care of the things that we take for granted. Lord, we thank you. Thank you for this country in which we live that gives us the freedom, Lord, to be able to look to you and also to be thankful for all those things around us that you have given us. So, Lord, I commit this meeting into your hands tonight. I thank you for each one here. I pray for your wisdom and direction, again, to guide and direct everything that's said and done. I pray in Jesus' name, amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Comments by city commissioners. Commissioner Rich.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I would just like to remind all of us, and I do this because we are the only municipality in the state of Florida that has an attorney dedicated solely to environmental matters. She just walked in the door. And she goes around insisting that everybody follow the regulations in terms of polluting and keeping our waterways clean. So I want to remind you that from June 1st to November 30th, you may not apply fertilizers containing nitrogen or phosphorus. And that includes going to Lowe's and buying those fertilizers and putting them on yourselves. I have seen commercial companies out there doing that, and I would ask the city manager to look in how we remind these companies courteously of their obligation towards this fertilizer ban. And that is very important. And that concludes my comments, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Commissioner Rich. And I don't know if this might be for Ruth then. Do you know if golf courses can still be fertilized even though we have a fertilizer ban? Okay. All right, thanks.
Good thing to look into, though.
Yeah, thank you. Commissioner Giobi?
Yes, hi, everyone. I'd like to thank everyone, as I always do, for attending the meeting tonight, both in person and online. Now more than ever, it is important that your voices are heard in our community. Last Wednesday, I was privileged to attend the graduation of the men and women who keep our public lands in good shape for the residents and visitors. This Best Management Series is a collaborative effort between the city and the county for more than a decade. I want to congratulate this year's graduates, and I was glad to see them receive their awards. Thank you, Milton Leggett and his crew, who worked so diligently to keep the public spaces beautiful. I want to thank Yvette Godal and her staff at UFIFSAC Extension for putting together the event, and a thank you to all the city and county individuals working with Yvette and her staff to make the graduation possible. I'm sure I don't say it often enough, but I want to give a shout out to the city staff and all the departments who work behind the scenes to make sure that our city is up and running every day. Thank you.
Does that conclude your
Oh,
comment?
yes, I'm done. I'm
sorry.
sorry. I should
Commissioner,
have said the end.
Commissioner or Commissioner Clark.
Thank you. Commissioner Joby, thank you for stealing my speech, but that's
Oh,
okay.
I'm sorry.
No, it's, yes, the Public Works graduation was a very good program to see the faces of people in the city and the county who prepare our conservation areas or parks, whatever it is, for those who visit and play and live and work in our community, and they create that image for those who use those facilities, and it's a good thing. So congratulations on all levels. Mr. Rich, again, another person who upstaged me, I guess. Ms. Holmes, Ruth Holmes, the only, what did you say, Mr. Rich? The only,
The only municipality in the state of Florida who has an attorney dedicated solely to dealing with environmental matters.
okay. And so, and there's a lot of work that needs to be done, but I did with, and I guess I won't upstage city manager, but I did go out with city manager, Ms. Holmes, and some residents in an area of our community that they've asked for somebody to come and look and check, and there's lots of work to be done, not only in that area, but other areas. We went to the Poppleton Creek area and walked the entire linear area around the property border, and just, try to assess and learn what's happening in that community and how we can help in the future and understand what the problems are. So again, thank you so much, Ms. Holmes, and I hope that whatever we glean and whatever we're working with, that we'll be able to get something done, especially in the next budget, with a plan of how we're going to be working in various ways to work on making sure that we have clean waterways. That particular area is close to Canner Highway, which has a lot of runoff from the road, and there's oil and all kinds of things that happen. But it was just a good thing to know that we participated in that way and got to learn more about the community. So thank you, and thank you, City Manager. We just had a meeting before this one, which is called the Community Redevelopment. We had the CRA, we had some CRB members, we had a joint meeting, and one of the things that came up was how to get communities revitalized by trying to free up titles to property so that people can be able to apply for whatever they need to apply for under the name of call it an owner. And so the heirs property, which is administered through the CRA with Pinal Gandhi Savdas, it's a good program. And those of you who have the opportunity to be interested in this program, or even to be personally involved with it, or can share information with someone else, please do so, and let us try to get more information out there so that we can get things done. This is right now limited to the East Stuart area, and we're working to get that implemented. So we just want to make sure that everybody's on the same page and we try to get it done. I have nothing else, so thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Commissioner Clark. I want to get a consensus from the board before I make my comments regarding the discussion and deliberation items, if we're going to, or if we'd be okay with allowing public comment on those two items when they come up.
I think there should be comment.
Commissioner Clark, Commissioner Rich,
It can be here, not city
looking
manager.
for a yes or a no for consensus.
I was just gonna ask city attorney if he thinks it might get out of hand. We just get the comments now?
No, I think the mayor was asking whether, if you have only a discussion and no motions,
Yeah,
whether
or
you
get
could
the
have
people
public comment
involved.
on those issues. I don't think there's a legal issue with it, it's more of a
There isn't,
preferential.
so correct.
It wasn't advertised as such, as long as it's not the only time when people give comment, because it wasn't advertised as such, people might say, well, they accepted it.
Yes,
I hear you.
yeah, and we're not taking action.
Yeah, I hear
So
you.
is that, is it a yes? Or a no?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Commissioner Rich?
Sure.
Thanks. My comments are, I'm going to be hosting a town hall meeting here at City Hall on August 12th from 4:30 to 7:30. And it's basically going to be local government, how to navigate the city website, ask questions, learn your local government. We also have from FDOT. It is in regards to the project development environmental study. It's a PD&E study regarding the Willoughby Boulevard extension.
Tomorrow.
And this city commission board did send a letter unanimously, 5-0, to the Martin County MPO board to let them know we supported a no-build option. But there's a virtual meeting that's going to be on July 28th at 5:30 PM. And there's an in-person meeting on July 29th at the 10th Street Rec Center, and it starts at 5:30 PM. And I also wanted to address, I met with the city manager this morning, and I let him know there's a couple cases, as I call them, since I was elected in August of 2024 that has gotten my attention, and I'm trying to resolve them. I've mentioned them multiple times. You might hear them in public comment tonight. Some of them involve legal issues, some of them involve the applicant, some are with the city. Maybe when they come up, I'll address them with the city manager or get a consensus from the board on what we would like to do, but that concludes my comments. Thank you. Any comments by the city manager?
Thank you, Mayor. Commissioner Clark, great to take a walk with you to Poppleton Creek. Right off the bat, we're in a weather season. I'm not going to say the word. The staff, we hosted a superb tabletop. I've been in emergency response and recovery, and I just happen to have a degree in meteorology. So, been doing this a long time in a lot of different places, and we have a top-notch staff, and I was very pleased with the exercise that we held. It was a tabletop, but everybody participated in it, and we are prepared for the season. A couple of what's good. Our police explorers participated in National Police Explorers event at the South Florida Fairgrounds. They completed 8 events against 38 police explorers from around the country: Nassau County, Charleston, South Carolina, Nassau County, New York, Charleston County, South Carolina, Austin, Texas, to name a few. Stuart finished second in the unknown problem category and third in force on force. The team was awarded 2 trophies. They'll be displayed in the lobby. So congratulations to our police explorers on that. And second, I've got a letter from the Daughters of the American Revolution. This is to Mr. Milton Leggett. I'm going to read the last paragraph. The American 250 Patriots Marker dedication ceremony on July 4th, 2026, near the gazebo was certainly a patriotic atmosphere with banners and flags flying high. This is to Milton Leggett. Your attention to detail and encouragement helped to create a very memorable experience for our membership, as well as the public attending the celebration of the 250th anniversary of the United States of America on that very special day. This is signed Lynn Jensen, co-chairman of the America 250 from the Daughters of the Revolution. Congratulations to Milton Leggett, as usual.
Thank you, Milton.
Commissioners and the public, I want to remind everybody that last time I talked about the Everglades Foundation, they'll be commemorating an event that happened 10 years ago. about the restoration of Lake Okeechobee and construction of a reservoir. There's a luncheon on August 7th. I will be attending. I believe commissioners have been invited, and I would encourage anyone else who would like to attend to get a hold of the Everglades Foundation. We will commemorate that with a proclamation at the next commission meeting. An update on the audit. I had corresponded with the auditors. Of course, our team works with the audit firm and meets every week on the 2025 audit. We're late. Late means June 30th, 2026, the audit was supposed to be complete. The audit firm had reached out to us well in advance, and I reported on this at an earlier meeting, that they're proposing a schedule of being done with the audit on August 31st of this year. I asked if there are any preliminary findings. There are none. I have not seen anything in the 2025 budget closeout or anything since I've been looking at it that that will lead me to conclude there will be any issue with the 2025 budget. This is delinquent because it wasn't started on time, and it will not happen under my watch again. So I'm only reporting it as an update to the public. They're about 50% complete. The staff works on it weekly, and an audit is just that. It is looking at the financial procurement process, our own internal accounting and finance procedures, and seeing, are we in tune with our own self, and are there any discrepancies there? There are none to report from 2025, nor do I anticipate any, but if there are any, we will address them appropriately. The new finance staff is doing an awesome job. To that end, a budget. You got a budget update and also a preliminary look into the 2027 budget. In the packet for next commission meeting, which will be a budget workshop, so our budget packet should be out by the end of the week, this week. And right now, the city manager's budget for 2027 is balanced. So we will be proposing a balanced 2027 budget to the public and to the commission coming up in a few weeks from now. I must commend Anthony on his work since coming here. He's in the room today. Give him a pat on the back because he has been working extremely hard. And to our department heads who have also, who gave us, honest input. And then I challenged them since the last commission meeting, I need another 5% from you. I presented them a 5% challenge to that, and they met that challenge. And by meeting that challenge with all the other requirements that we have, some unmandated, some contractual, and other things that we could not help, they met that challenge, balanced the budget, and I'm happy to report that today, and we're anxious to show that to you. But congratulations to Anthony for all his hard work, and to the department heads for meeting the challenge that I gave them. So I appreciate that very much. And Mayor, that concludes my comments. Thank you.
Thank you, City Manager Mike. Give me one sec, Commissioner Giobbe. I just wanted to thank you as well for being very transparent with our constituents regarding the audit. It's nice as well seeing a balanced budget. I know last fiscal year, we actually rolled the millage back. So to be balanced this early on before the budget workshops even start, I'd be curious what the department heads are looking for the upcoming fiscal year then. And also, thank you to Anthony as well. I know we had a meeting and it was very beneficial. Do you want to address this now or before I get approval for the agenda?
It was about the agenda.
Gotcha. Okay, so
Okay.
that's the next thing. Can I get a motion for approval of the agenda? This would be where you're making if you're doing a motion,
Right, I wanted to amend the agenda.
okay, so you'd make a motion.
Yeah, I'm going to
You
make a
just
motion
mentioned
to
that.
amend the agenda. I'd like to move under discussion and deliberation. I'd like to move the Haney Creek referendum to another commission day. I think that the Sailfish Ball Fields referendum and the Haney Creek deserve
our full attention and explanation and comments from the public. So I'm asking if we can move the Haney Creek referendum to another date.
So you want to table those two items?
No,
too?
I want to do the Sailfish Point
Oh,
presentation.
gotcha,
I just
just
want to move
one.
the Haney Creek to another day so it can get its full, due when we
Okay.
talk about it, yes.
All right. All right, so we have a motion from Commissioner Giobbe to move the Haney Creek referendum D&D item. Do you have a date certain, or is it just, you want to just table it?
No, I don't want to table it. We can move it to the next commission meeting or the first commission meeting in September. What would that date be?
The next meeting is the 1st in September.
If you were talking
No,
about September, it would be
this
September.
is July. Yeah, you skipped a month on me.
Are you going to August or September?
September,
So September would be September 14th for the first meeting. So
for
you'd
the
have
first
to-
reading on the 14th of September.
Correct. So you'd-
Right, it's not a reading, it's just a
It's just a
discussion
D&D.
deliberation.
Right.
I will remind you that we have an election coming up, there's deadlines, so if you're going to postpone it, that will not make the election.
Correct.
So,
We have a what's the referendum deadline, Lee? I don't, I mean, I could find it in my email.
I'll defer to the city clerk.
August 21st.
Yeah, so it'd
Okay,
have to be
so
the
we could-
first meeting in August.
Okay, we
but
could move it to the first
that-
meeting in August.
That's just a D&D, so you
Yeah,
wouldn't
there's-
even have enough time to.
Yes,
come up
there's
with
not
a-
enough time to
Still
do
wouldn't
anything
make it.
anyway. Yeah,
Well,
it's still not going to make
with the
it.
Haney Creek referendum, it's only a resolution, one meeting.
Gotcha.
The Sailfish
okay.
Ball Fields referendum would be 2 meetings.
So you
It's
could-
an ordinance, so
Okay.
just so you guys understand the difference.
Okay, so if we could move that to the first August meeting, the Haney Creek referendum.
Yeah.
That's up to you
I'm
guys. I'm just
making
letting-
sure it suffices to where they
I'm
have
just-
enough time still.
I would hope we would have enough time.
Yeah.
That's up to you guys.
All right, so that's the
Wanna point
motion.
it
Is
out.
there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, so we have a motion from Commissioner Giobbe to move the Haney Creek referendum D&D item to the
August 6th.
August.
No, it's the 10th.
10th meeting,
August 10th.
and seconded by Commissioner Rich. Is there any public comment regarding this motion? Just make sure you fill out a green card after, and then you can come to the podium. You have 3 minutes, and then just state your name, okay? Yeah, yep, sorry.
Yeah,
You're not speaking on the Haney Creek, you're speaking on
This would be on the motion.
oh, okay, that's okay.
Well,
It's basically,
table,
it's
so
public
she can-
comment regarding the motion that was made up here from the dais, for the public to be aware.
there won't be another option for Haney Creek. So if you want to speak, now would be the.
It's totally up to you. You get 3 minutes. Welcome.
I'm just going to read what I already have written.
Yep. Just make sure you
For
state
the
your name
record, this is Emily Lanthier.
All right. Good afternoon. I'm Emily Lanthier, a Stuart resident who lives in North River Shores. The exit of my subdivision is at North River Shores Boulevard, directly west of the small city-owned parcel that is being considered for possible sale for development or retained and incorporated into the Haney Creek Preserve. I am familiar with the area and know that the Haney Creek property is important for recreational use, stormwater retention, and as a habitat for a variety of native floral and fauna. I have followed with interest your deliberations regarding the future of this parcel and agree with those of you who are suggesting the city residents be allowed to vote on how they would like it to be used. I have not been able to find out if an environmental assessment has been performed on the property and believe that before the referendum takes place, environmental and cultural resource assessments should be completed and made available on the city's website. The voters will know whether or not the property has any notable resources. I know the city's adjoining Haney Creek properties have a variety of upland and wetland habitats, some of which provide habitat for state-listed and/or federally listed endangered and threatened species. Knowing whether this specific parcel has anything of note would help the city, voters, and prospective buyers all get a better understanding of its potential use, whether for environmental presentation, if there are notable resources present, or for commercial development if there are no notable resources present. I'm a student in biological resource curriculum at IRSC, and I believe that members of the Martin County chapter, the Florida Native Plant Society, and others would be interested in assisting environmental professionals in conducting field assessment prior to the referendum. Thank you for your consideration of the suggestion.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other public comments regarding this motion, Mary? Okay, and I just want to clarify, the motion is clear that we'd be pulling the Haney Creek referendum to the first meeting in August.
Correct, August 10th.
Okay. All right, we can roll call on the motion.
Commissioner Clark?
Yes.
Commissioner Rich?
Yes.
Commissioner Giobi?
Yes.
Mayor Reed?
Yes, motion passes unanimously. Comments from the public on non-agenda related items, just please state your name when you come to the podium.
I have Elena Carroll.
And if you have material that you're going to hand out to us from the dais, you could turn them into the clerk ahead of time as well, so that won't take up your 3 minutes. Welcome.
Hi, everybody. Sorry for my English. My name is Elena, and I owner of Heritage Hall on the First Highway.
Put your mic closer to your, there you go. Thank you.
My LLC on Heritage Hall at the First Highway, and it's a home for approximately 30 small businesses, which usually are the women-owned or minorities or and elderly people. And I understand the city of Stuart is growing, and the development department, especially under the Judy leadership, is very, very busy with with a new project. At the same time, I would like to address city commissioners. We have people in Stuart that struggling to paying gas, insurance, and utility bill, and usually there are my tenants. And I would like to mention, is there a place in the Stuart community redevelopment area for the small businesses owner? And if you look at my case, code enforcement case violation CE 2621, so the answer is no. For the last eight months, the Heritage Hall was just like have been under constant search for the new violation, and it started on December 9 when fire safety inspector Alexis Campbell with Capri Solicity came to inspect one of my tenant, unit 203, and they told the tenant just like a tenant fails the violation, and I overhear that, and my building is served by licensed subcontractor, and it was surprise for me because fire extinguisher always in place, and last 3 years there was no problem. So I start to speak with Inspector Capri and ask her, did she measure that, and why is in violation? And she told me just like basically, no, she does not measure, she absolutely believe it, and she does not even have a tape measure. So I provide the tape measure, and it was in compliance. So my tenants 203 pass inspection, but after that I have non-stop, just like for 8 months, non-stop inspections from all possible violations. So, and for example, in 2023, my building does not have a backflow prevention Okay, sorry.
Yeah, that was your 3 minutes,
Okay.
Elena. We appreciate you dropping this packet off to us, okay?
Yeah.
But we won't get into a debate. What I will say is I'll address it. I spoke with the city manager this morning about it. And there is a staff meeting coming up this Thursday with, I believe, the applicant or the property owner of this address and staff as well to go over everything in this packet. Correct, Mike?
10 a.m. on Thursday.
Thank you. Mary, do you have the next public
do.
comment?
Matthew Mondo.
Welcome, Matthew.
Afternoon, Commissioners. My name is Matthew Mondo. I'm a commercial real estate agent in the Martin County area, also serving City of Port St. Lucie County, and Indian River County. Wanted to give you a quick discussion here regarding the executive office suites in our community, specifically with Elena's building. Just asking the board to reconsider any policy or requirement that would force property owners to combine smaller executive suites into larger office spaces. The market's telling us something important. Smaller suites are not a problem that needs to be corrected. It's a product of the local business activity and need. Current local market conditions show smaller executive suites maintain a relatively low vacancy rate compared to larger traditional standalone offices. We also continue to see demand from solo professionals, startups, consultants, service providers, and other small businesses who do not need and often can't afford a large traditional office space. The building, specifically at 1320 Southeast Federal Highway, commonly known as Heritage Hall, is home to a number of minority-owned and women-owned businesses. Municipalities often seek to encourage entrepreneurship and expand economic participation among these groups. A policy that artificially shifts the available inventory toward larger and more expensive spaces will work against that objective. For many of the businesses, a smaller executive suite is not merely preference. It's what makes it operating the business financially possible. Requiring businesses to lease substantially more space than they need could increase their occupancy costs beyond what they can sustain. Some may be forced to relocate, return to working from home, reduce staff, or close altogether. Eliminating smaller suites does not generate larger demand for larger suites. It simply removes affordable and practical choices from the market. Economist Thomas Sowell has consistently encouraged policymakers to evaluate policy not only by its intentions, but also the incentives, trade-offs, and real-world consequences it creates. This principle is especially relevant here. The city doesn't assume financial risk associated with vacancies, maintenance, fixed and variable operating expenses, or tenant turnover. Those risks are carried by the property owners and the business tenants. Government should be cautious about substituting its judgment for the decisions who have direct financial stake in the outcome. Preserving these spaces supports entrepreneurship on all levels, local employment, and a more accessible and business environment. Thank you.
I have a question for
Yes.
clarification, Matthew.
Yes.
This is what you dropped off with office suites, right? Or is this, okay, so this was prior, okay.
Oh, no.
That was my only question. All right, thanks, Matthew. Welcome, Andrew.
And the documents he was referencing was dropped off by me. Hello, I'm Andy Combs. I'm a local business owner in the city of Stuart and a tenant in the building 1320, which is referenced Heritage Hall. I moved in the building because it's very well kept, in good condition. I like the building. When I looked at the building when I opened my business in 2000, it had trash all around. Always looked dingy and dirty. There appeared to be a homeless person sleeping in the parking area in the back. There was a significant difference in the building when I moved in 2023 than when I originally looked at it in 2000. And that was thanks to the purchaser who owns it since 2023, Elena. I'm here to speak for the tenants of Heritage Hall. I think one of the things that's been missed in the whole analysis that's been going through between the fire department and zoning is there's 34 businesses that are in that building. And the last consent order that was offered by the city was to remediate the building all the way back to 1986. I want to make sure everybody understands that. They want every wall, every improvement, legal, illegal, anything, they want it removed back to 1986. In order to do that, they would have to evict every tenant in the building. Every business would have to move. So from an operational perspective, you know, the city has talked about there's too many businesses within the building. The building is based on suites. I provided you guys a layout which makes it very easy to see. The problem is when you look at a floor plan, what's in the package, the floor plan has all the business names. It's on page, I think, 3 and 4 of the packet. I had it broken out so you can see it linear, like a shopping plaza. If you look down it, you can see each suite, which is an official mailing address, and they were originally designed, suites are 2 rooms typically, they were probably originally designed for like a secretary and an attorney or something of that nature. In the world, we really don't use secretaries anymore. You know, receptionists, the electronic systems are replacing them. And what the landlord has done is put 2 tenants in each of the suites. They're separate rooms. It's not increasing the number of bodies. The building by square footage, if you take it off the website, if you take square footage divided by 150, 71 people are allowed in the building. There's 34 tenants currently, and the suites are all laid out for you. So part of what we want the city to consider is they're saying there's too many walls in the building. I don't understand. The walls have been there for decades. So from an operational perspective, I think Elena touched on the fire inspection. The fire inspector, I want to be very clear so everybody understands, and I think your representatives are here. The inspection occurred. The inspector identified a failure to the tenant. And when the failure was due to the fire extinguisher not being within fire code compliance. When the landlord heard it, she was confident her fire extinguisher was within the right range. She asked the inspector if she had measured it. The inspector said she did not. She went and got the inspector a tape measure, held the end of the tape measure, and the inspector was able to identify that the fire extinguisher was within range. They had to pass the tenant, and it's been complete retaliation ever since then.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next, I have John Morgan.
Welcome, John. You're welcome.
So today the environment has been mentioned a couple of times, and two of the things I love about the Stuart environment are God and country. But one thing that I've been seeing more and more that I don't love is the allowance of a private company to manufacture cameras that are not so subtly creating a mass surveillance state. And this private company is known as Flock. Now on Flock's website, it's stated that what they're doing is not mass surveillance, blatantly. The website even goes as far to say, quote, Flock's ALPRs, which are an automatic license plate reader, do not and cannot track vehicles, end quote. And it's great that they say this, but in truth, the statement doesn't hold a drop of water when you dig an inch deeper. If these cameras have the ability to take a picture of your vehicle, knowing where you are and when you were there is the literal definition of tracking. Now, when you pair multiple of these pictures together over the course of a trip, such as the one that I took to get from my house to here, this is what mass surveillance really looks like in action. What's even worse than this is that the information collected in this data breach is being put into a searchable online database for the public to view. A perfect example of this would be the Bessemer Police Department in North Carolina. This particular client of Flock had over 20 ALPRs over the span of 30 days, were able to capture 72,000 unique and distinct vehicles. This data is being shared with over 2,000 additional organizations. And remember, this is from a single city police department. Everyone between large corporations and the government itself, your information is being taken without your consent, put in a database, and is being sent to companies that you don't even know about. On top of that, in the company's FAQs, they state, quote, nobody from Flock is accessing your information, end quote. Once again, this doesn't hold the smallest amount of water, because after a series of public records requests from a man named Jason Honyar, it was shown that not only were Flock employees accessing your data, they were facilitating additional access for multiple third parties. Even more shady than that, Flock employees were masking certain accounts from having their searches appear in audits. They were also found accessing live cameras on previous recordings. The vice president of business development, his name's Bob Carter, was found viewing a camera of a children's gymnastics room during what was called a sales demonstration. You may be wondering why a license plate reader is facing a gymnastics room, and the answer is because Flock doesn't only produce ALPRs. To believe the most horrifying example of their tech is a PTZ, which are cameras designed to track human targets. They're purpose-made to track your face. Now, even if you are somehow okay with that, it gets even worse when you realize that this information is still left on a public database that anybody with internet can access. Now, I could go on for days about how this company is going to be detrimental, but
Thank you, sir.
thank you.
Thank you, John. You should come back to our meeting where we have a follow-up for the cameras in the school zones. I will tell you, this board majority last year turned them away. But yes, that'd be a good meeting to attend as well. Thank you.
Next, I have John Provenzero.
Welcome, John.
Sorry, I know I mispronounced that.
It's Provenzano, but thank you. And let me pull up my speech quick. Sorry. Hello, I'm John Provenzano, and I'm a resident of Stuart, Florida. I'd like to discuss Flock cameras. Flock cameras have recently been popping up in our small coastal town of around 40 to 50,000 people. That's insane. As of July 4th, 2026, there are approximately 6 to 8 Flock cameras everywhere. I just passed by 3 coming here. This is an ideology of a surveillance state. All my life, I've been lectured and told that China is spying on us with all these cameras and stealing our data. Every day, I wake up and realize it's America and all these private-owned companies. The founding fathers are rolling in their graves watching as America is turned into a surveillance state owned by billionaires and foreign nations. It's a clear and direct quote of our violation of our Fourth Amendment right, which forbids unreasonable searches and seizures. Flock cameras have been searching and seizing our information without our permission, putting it into a database which cannot be regulated by a federal government. Flock cameras can track the way you walk, the way you talk, and even your eye color. Nobody wants these cameras in general. Own up to the mistakes which you have made, which I recently heard that you turned them away, which is good. Nobody wants to spy on us. I'd like to end by quoting Abraham Lincoln. Those who deny freedom to others deserve it neither for themselves. Our country has gone backwards because some elected officials don't represent or care for us in the slightest. They have sold our civil liberties for billionaires and foreign nations and companies which do not want us in our best values. Thank you.
Janine Alexander.
For clarification, it was in the school zone specifically for speeding tickets, but I'm sure the flock stuff, it's garnering attention, so. Yep. Thanks, guys. Welcome, Janine.
For the clock, I emailed.
Make sure you come to the mic so they could hear you.
Well, I used to teach biology, and I had to project my voice to the end of a very long classroom without a microphone. I emailed the commission members documents to print so that I wouldn't be absorbing the cost of printing every time I come. This is my 7th month. The clock can begin. I gave you all a study guide tonight because I thought I'd take a different format with my presentation to resemble a classroom, which I spent 16 years of my life in, until February 27th of 2015, when an incident forever changed my life, a domestic incident, where police failed to collect evidence in accordance with their own policies, Policy 27, Section 3, Paragraph A4. Officers are not authorized
Janine, make sure you're speaking to us and addressing.
authorized to open, alter, delete, or edit digital media in any fashion. So what I'm dealing with tonight is question number 1 for the commission. Mr. Baguette was assigned the task on December 8th of 2026 to research and report to the commission. What was the original task he was assigned to research? He was assigned the task of researching SIRB hearings. I was entitled to one in 2018 after I submitted a citizen's complaint to Michael Mortel and Nicole King of the city manager's office. David Ross was no longer in the office because he was looking at termination at that time. I have never discussed, never communicated in any fashion with Dave Ross until recently. The finger of blame has been pointed repeatedly at Dave Ross when Michael Mertel was the only person that spearheaded the investigation and handling my complaint and denied an SIRB hearing that was supposed to finalize my complaint. I was denied that hearing. It's in email conversations with Michael Mortel. Number 2 question. The correct answer for Mr. Baguette's sake was to gather insight about the SIRB process that was availed to me at the time, not the new legislation in 2024. Question 2, in reference to Lee Baguette's background of January 26, this particular document, paragraph 2, who implied that Janine Alexander, myself, caused an open wound to an elderly neighbor's face, that implication was made by Mr. Lee Baguette in his background comments on January 26. Never did I implicate harm to Ms. Joyce O'Connell's face. I want to be clear. Facts are important when you make these kinds of assertions. Otherwise, it constitutes defamation. You can read question 3, the final stages of SRRB, and continue to question 16 and thereafter.
It's 3 minutes.
Yes, you're entitled.
Do you have any questions of me?
I don't have any clarifying questions for you, not unless any of the board members do.
These questions are presented tonight to identify that Lee Baguette committed
Janine,
defamation
Janine.
on January 26th of 2026. And
Janine.
I have to give you 5 days warning
I
before.
understand, but you had 3 minutes of public comment. I want to make it fair to everybody in attendance. What I will state for the record, and this is not a back and forth exchange, Janine, it's more so for me to clarify. From what I understand, this was sent to us, and there's been legal proceeding regarding a potential settlement. Lee, this SRRB board doesn't even exist anymore because of Florida state statute, I believe.
That's correct.
It was
Florida
enacted
State's-
in 2024.
Janine.
The statute was.
Janine, let me speak.
That's correct. It was preempted by Florida State statute. We can no longer have an SIRB.
That's
And
true.
I know I've only been here since August of 2024, but anytime there's been like settlement discussion, it's usually been from like outside legal counsel or from, our chartered position legal staff. And regarding this, that has never been discussed to us commissioners. As far as like legal advice for us to go in that direction.
We have-
It's a legal matter currently, I believe.
Correct. So her case was dismissed again a few months ago, and she has appealed it to the Fourth District Court of Appeals. So it's still a pending litigation matter.
Janine.
I understand.
I understand. Your public comment is over, though. It was 3 minutes. So
I
everybody gets-
understand. Okay,
yeah.
I was just waiting for you to.
Yeah, I'm just, yeah. So it's a legal matter, and it's in the courts.
I mean, it's a legal matter, but it's in litigation.
And
So
it's in-
everything's a legal matter. But it's in active litigation.
Okay.
So
All right.
she recently appealed the dismissal of her case to our appellate court down in West Palm Beach, and that is active. And we have an outside law firm that's being paid by our insurance company. We have a claims adjuster that is handling the bills and in the case. So,
All right, thanks, Lee.
sure. I just don't, if you're asking about a